very confusing as well. And I don't know if it's good news or bad news. In fact, let me move this over here and try to get rid of the glare. Glare is tough to get rid of sometimes. Okay. So apparently, TikTok USA has sold. And what does that mean for the RV industry, the RV community, RV influencers? It's going to change things pretty dramatically over the next 12 months. So, first off, let me kind of explain the small amount of details we have right now. The small amount of details we have right now is that ByteDance, the company that owns TikTok, TikTok USA, and other affiliates, that is also basically owned by the Chinese government, has decided to go ahead and diverge itself away from TikTok USA operations. They're going to have less than a 20% stake in the company. And the entire structure of TikTok is going to completely change. It's going to change very, very dramatically. And I'm going to explain how as we go along in this live stream. If you do have any questions, let me know. I'll answer them the best I can because we don't have a lot of information about it. We just know there's an agreement in place. It's going to be consummated one day prior to the deadline. The deadline before TikTok would have been gone forever out of the US was January 23rd, 2026. The deal will be consummated and done on January 22nd, 2026, cutting it a little bit close. But there's going to be other, it's going to be a while before it's fully operational under the new American investors and American companies that are actually taking it over. So, what does that mean? Okay. It means that TikTok is no longer going to be the beast that it once was, meaning the algorithm that China has developed is not going to be a part of the app anymore. It's going to be more Americanized. It's going to be more like YouTube Shorts. It's going to be more like Instagram Reels, Snapchat Spotlight. It's going to be more like that than it is anything else, which means that they're going to have more conservative barriers about information and content. It doesn't matter if a Democrat's in office or Republican, wouldn't matter. It'd be the same exact thing because that's the way the world works with social media in the USA. Control, 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 blah, 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 blah. Okay. I mean, look at my channel as an example. If you thought, with all the truths that I speak about the RV industry, you would think my channel would explode. My channel stays very small because they don't want this content getting out to everybody. So it has to be shared in order to actually get people to notice, hey, look, this guy's actually speaking the truth about something. Anyway, long story short, TikTok, in its infinite wisdom, is going to step back and it's going to stay the same app that you already use on a daily basis, and content creators will not start at zero. They're going to transfer the application and everything else to the American servers and American company, but they're going to take out the algorithm. So all the coding and all the AI and everything that TikTok has had in there, that is a Chinese uh, creation, is no longer going to be available. We'll still be able to edit videos on TikTok. CapCut will still be available to use for editing. All the normal things that we have with licensed music, unlike uncommissionable music, AI music, all the normal stuff that we already use on TikTok is apparently safe, but the algorithm is no longer going to be the same, and TikTok Shop is not going to be the same as it is right now. So, what does this mean? Well, number one, it means all the TikTok scams going on right now in the RV industry will eventually no longer exist because TikTok is such a pain in the butt to try to get a hold of to have them take channels down. Even if you can prove without a shadow of a doubt that they are using that information to steal money from people, even though they've used the likeness of Josh the RV Nerd, me, Miles RV, Matt's RV Reviews, no matter how many times any of us in the community actually flag that channel and try to warn people, don't believe what you see on that channel or these certain channels, they just don't get taken down. Under US control, it'll be easier to say, hey, that's a scam, and they'll actually investigate and take the channel down. So that's a positive. Some of the negative aspects is, why do I want the US government involved in my freaking life again? I'm kind of pissed off about it because last year, it's like, you're telling me that I can't use TikTok anymore because you're afraid of it? Really? China's in our daily lives already. Japan's in our daily lives already. Germany, Italy, Canada, Mexico, all these companies and all these governments are already in our lives on a daily basis and know more about us because of the word Google, because of DuckDuckGo. If you believe DuckDuckGo doesn't capture your information and sell it off, how else do they make money? They just hide it better than anybody else, right? So, why do I want to be told by my government what to do? This is the United States of America. Shouldn't we have what they call freedom? But I digress. Okay. So, TikTok USA is going to be completely sold, done, completed as far as the paperwork. Then it's about the transfer of the company. So, it's going to be a wonky mess for probably the next 12 months. And the reality is that, hi, everybody. The reality is that we're going to look at a possibility that RV influencers, camping influencers might actually have a platform that they actually can grow on consistently. And I think that's one of the benefits of it. So you have the RV hunter type of guys who are masters at short form content. And the RV hunter to me is the best, absolutely hands down, the best short form content creator we have in the RV industry. 100% the best. And I think there's an opportunity for guys like him to grow on the app and actually give people a proper education alongside guys like me and others that are like me. Like, there's several RV technicians that have TikTok pages. The consistency of growth and the consistency will actually be there. It'll be a slow burn instead of, oh, look, a girl shaking her butt for OnlyFans gets 50 million views and priority, outside of, a guy who's teaching you how to fix your generator. I mean, that's how TikTok works. You got a guy coming up going, hey, I'm going to pay you $1,000. Come on camera and tell me your body count's 500. So that way we can have a viral moment. Okay, you ready? What's your body count? I mean, that's TikTok. That's Instagram Reels. I mean, it's tough. So we have that. The new version of TikTok may actually be beneficial towards all content creators. Now, the downside that I can see for content creators that are trying to have more of a global audience, like a Mr. Beast, probably won't be on the app anymore because it's going to only be a US based application, algorithm, and VPN. So, a lot of the content creators you might see that are in Switzerland, Germany, in not India, Japan, the Philippines, different countries all around the world are no longer going to be on the TikTok USA app, at least temporarily. From what I'm understanding, from what I'm gathered, at least for the next 12 to 15 months, once they switch everything over, that ability to see on your FYP page folks that are from other countries and content creators from other countries that are teaching languages or how to speak, how to write, how to do art, different things of that nature will not be accessible on the TikTok app because it's a different company and a different application. In order to get those folks, you'd have to change the VPN on your phone, to be in a country that's accepting the Chinese version of TikTok and not Redbook. We're talking about the actual Chinese TikTok that, you know, billions of people watch every single day across almost every country in the world. Okay. So I hope that kind of gives you a little bit of information about how that's all going to work and how that's all going to play out. And most folks probably will ask me, well, what do you think? Why is that important? Well, it's important because there's a lot of, I don't know how to feel about it. I don't. Part of me is very excited. Part of me is like, oh, really? So we got to go through the next year and a half of hell just to keep an app that doesn't really make a lot of people a lot of money. You know, everybody talks about, well, what about brand deals on TikTok? You don't really get brand deals. You get more like if you're a part of TikTok shop or you're a part of certain things. Like last year in 2024, I made $6,000 for the entire year just in TikTok ad revenue. Now, this year in 2025, I have tripled my views compared to 2024, and I made 87% less money. I went from averaging $225 to $230 a month in ad revenue. That's not TikTok commission, you know, from the shop and other things. I'm talking about just ad revenue. I received north of $225 a month last year in 2024. This year, I have been lucky enough to maybe break 24, 25 bucks a month. And I've tripled my views and I've gained over 11,000 followers more net. And yet it doesn't pay anything. It's starting to feel more like Instagram reels that don't pay you jack crap. I'd rather post on Facebook because Facebook pays you ad revenue, while Instagram doesn't pay you jack crap. You know, that's why I hate it when people tell me, "Oh, I make a bunch of money on Instagram." How? Instagram pays you? Well, no. I mean, Instagram doesn't pay me. You know, I just get some brand deals and some things like that. Oh, so same thing you could do on YouTube Shorts and Facebook, but you get paid from different avenues as well, just piling on top. I mean, it's craziness. So I don't know how to feel about the whole TikTok thing. I really don't. I can tell you from the perspective of somebody that uses it to try to trigger people to visit websites to shop for certain brands and certain elevations of RVs. I'm happy it's still here and I'm happy it's still going to stick around. Am I excited because it's a potential to make money? Not really, because it really doesn't make me any money. I've got almost 60,000 followers on TikTok. I average this year, I'll crack 13.4 million views. 13.4 million views. I did a little over 4 million last year. And now 13.4 million views. I've made 87% less money than I did making 4 million views. So it just goes to show you that we don't know what the real future is going to be with how they're going to deal with content creation, content creators. How are they going to deal with a guy like me? How are they going to deal with a guy like Josh the RV nerd? How are they going to deal with guys like Big Truck Big RV? How are they going to how is it going to benefit JD from Big Truck Big RV to stay on TikTok, right? How is it going to benefit Matt, his towable and RV review channels? How is it going to be beneficial? You know, I don't know how much you could really benefit from TikTok during its transitory phase, transitioning from the Chinese controlled company, taking the algorithm out and going to US control with a new algorithm and a new base form of how we're going to actually view and create content. So it's very interesting to, I'm going to say, dive in deep and see what it's really going to be like. And we're not going to have more details for probably another 3 or 4 weeks. So, and there's not a lot of people talking about this, and I don't know why. I mean, this is huge news. I don't know why it's like not spread everywhere. It will spread everywhere, but I don't know why it hasn't like launched into the atmosphere or everything. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I want to come online, kind of talk about that, go over some of the things with it. I think it's going to be very beneficial in the end once it finds its feet. Once the new TikTok USA finds its feet and finds its rhythm, I think it'll be very beneficial for the outdoor camping, off grid, overland, and RV community as a whole. And I believe I think overall it will be a positive thing. I just don't know how to emotionally feel about it. So I'll see you tomorrow.